Hey y'all, oh my goodness, I got so many questions. I got a whole page and then one question on the back, and I'm still adding to this daily. So if your question does not get answered today, don't get mad at me please. It will be answered in a future video, just because it would be impossible for me to answer all these questions in one video because they're going to take me a while to explain it. Also, just a little disclaimer, I am not a professional dog trainer. I am still in high school. I hope to one day become a professional dog trainer, but as of right now, I'm not. But I have trained both of my dogs, and I do know about dog training because I've obviously done it. And I do watch a lot of Victoria Stilwell's videos, so I've learned a lot from her. So some of the advice I'm giving you, I've learned from her. Some of it I've just figured out on my own and what worked for me and my dogs. So hopefully I can help you guys out. Okay, so somebody asked how to prevent their 13-year-old Cocker Spaniel from sneaking out. So I would recommend to you, you have a few options. You can put them in the crate, depending on how long you're gone. I would not recommend you leaving them in their crate probably more than 2 hours, without coming home and taking them out and, whatnot, depending on the age. Now, if it's a puppy, I would recommend coming home every hour, hour and a half. Maybe stretching it to 2 hours, but if you're going to be gone all day, at work or whatever, then I would recommend not crating them just because, they're going to have accidents and all that. Okay, so you can do the place command, which I've actually taught both my dogs the place command and it works really well. So you're going to pick a spot in your house. I chose to have a mat in their spot, so I just say place and they know what to do. So what you're going to do is essentially you're going to get your dog to sit and stay on that mat until you tell them, okay, you can get up. This is going to take a long time. Okay, it's not easy, believe me, I know. It's frustrating, and you just sometimes like, I'm never going to get there. They're never going to stay still. But I promise you they will. So when they get up, you're just going to go ch and make them sit and stay. And the reason you go ch is to kind of make them go, oh gosh, I did something wrong, to kind of just alert them that they're not supposed to do that. Yeah, so I mean, you don't have to make that sound. You can make another sound or whatever, but yeah, place is really great as well. And don't expect your dog to sit down for 5 minutes the first time because they're not. So I recommend getting your dog to sit there for probably 30 seconds to a minute. If your dog is struggling, I recommend 30 seconds. I mean, it's more of a personal preference thing. Also, another thing to note is when you're doing this and your dog's sitting on the mat, you're going to go over to the door and you're just going to crack it a little bit. Don't open the door wide open because that's not going to work. If the dog gets up, you close the door, you put them back in their place, and once they sit there when the door is opening, that's when you can release them. But don't release them when the door is still open. Close the door and then release them. It's going to take practice, y'all. It's not going to just happen overnight. And that's with anything I'm telling you. It's not just going to happen. Okay, how do you keep your dog from barking uncontrollably? This was actually probably one of the most common questions that I got. So what I recommend doing is teaching the quiet command. And this is actually very useful because believe me, I know how it feels when you have your dog barking. My dog does it all the time and it literally drives me insane. But one thing you don't want to do is yell at your dog because that's really not going to help. It's just going to, make the noise even louder because now you're yelling and the dog's barking. So it doesn't really work out very well when you start yelling at them. So even if they take a break for a second to breathe, you're going to take advantage and you're going to go quiet and give them a treat. And, this is going to, again, take practice. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you can just go quiet, and, you know, give them lots of praise. Also, an important thing to know, as your dog gets better at a certain, you know, training thing that you're trying to train them to do, for me personally, when, let's say I'm teaching my dog to sit or whatever, as she gets better, I don't use treats anymore. For her, she's known how to sit for at least 5 years, and I don't use treats anymore. I just use praise. But definitely when you're starting out, I recommend using treats. There is a whole bunch of variety of treats. My dogs really, they'll eat any treats, and I know some dogs are particular on that, so just an important thing to note there as well. Okay, how to deal with older dogs. I'm not really sure if this person meant, like, with health concerns that may come up, or they just asked me how to deal with an older dog. So, you know, older dogs are like any other dog. You know, they're older, but treat them like a normal dog, you know. I will say older dogs can sometimes have more health problems. Not all, you know, I know some senior dogs who are, you know, healthy and run like 3 miles a day, you know. And then I know others who've had some, you know, health concerns as they got older. So it honestly just depends on your dog, but I would say, you know, exercising with them is still really important, whether you go, you know, on a slower walk or you go for a run. You know, definitely playing with them and exercising with them is really important. Okay, let's do a few more. Let's see. Okay. Finicky eater. I got someone that asked me that. So, funny little story real quick. My cat is the pickiest eater ever. And, you know, we buy so many different foods for her, and she just, like, she will not eat it. She'll just look like, I'm not eating that. My dogs, they don't care, they'll eat it. And do not ask me cat questions, y'all, because honestly, I know nothing about cats. I have one, but I know nothing. So I would recommend changing up their diet, or maybe trying to put some wet food on it, or peanut butter, or vegetables. Our dogs love vegetables. Vegetable juice. One of my friends used to put bacon grease on theirs. I've never done that, but their dogs loved it. So you have a few options there just to kind of make it taste a little better. Also, I've put, you know, some chicken on their food, like shredded up chicken. I've crumbled up treats. I've broke up hot dogs. So, I mean, you kind of have a lot of options there. Okay, let's see. Blending your puppy with other dogs. So when you get a puppy, I don't know how many dogs we're talking about. When you get a puppy, some dogs can kind of get a little not so happy about it. So what I recommend doing is introducing the puppy and the dog one-on-one. You know, you don't want to just say, oh, here, let's go meet, you know, the other 5 dogs that I have. You want to do it one-on-one, and you also, I recommend doing it on a walk first, because sometimes if you bring a puppy into your house or into your yard, and you know, introduce your dog and your puppy in the house or in the yard, your dog can kind of get a little aggressive because you're like, oh, hey, this little puppy is in my house and in my yard, and I don't like that too much. So when you're taking it on a walk, you're kind of on like everyone's territory. You're not just on their land or their house. So they're, you know, less likely to be as mean, and you know, and some dogs do fine. You know, honestly, some dogs you can bring a puppy home and like, oh, a new friend. But others are like, I don't like this. I recommend just doing it one-on-one. Keep the, you know, meetings very short. Watch, you know, your dog's body language. Do not leave them unattended. You know, if you notice that they're starting to get kind of, you know, at each other a little bit, definitely separate them. You want to end on a good note, you know, so keep the meetings really brief and short. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Remember, if your question did not get answered in this video, it's okay. I'm going to be making lots of other videos. I'm going to have lots of other questions to answer in those videos. So hopefully I explained everything well enough for y'all. If I didn't, please just let me know if you need me to clarify something or re-explain something. I will be happy to. Thank y'all so much for watching and all of your awesome questions. And I will see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and turn the notifications to all, because believe me, I will 9 times out of 10 forget to remind you that I have a video up. So just make sure you turn on that bell if you want to get notified whenever a new video goes up. So I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching. Bye!